right, here we go, Whitney's speech.
Hi. Every year, 430,000 people die from smoking-related diseases. More American women die every year from lung cancer than from breast cancer. Today I'm going to talk to you about why you should not smoke cigarettes. We all know people who smoke. Some of us have even smoked cigarettes possibly before, and all of us have at least walked by somebody smoking a cigarette. So it's important to understand the health effects of smoking and secondhand smoke. We all know that cigarettes is rolled up tobacco and smoked, but there's actually 4,000 lesser known chemicals in cigarettes. Not good. So again, it's important to understand the effects that these have. So today I'm going to talk to you about what cigarettes do to your lungs, how they predispose you to cancer, and how secondhand smoke affects other people. First of all, let's talk about what smoking does to your lungs. You have these little air pockets in your lungs that are called alveoli. It's kind of like if you took foam core, took a section of foam core, you know all the bubbles? That's what your lungs look like. And when you smoke, they get damaged, and they're permanently damaged. You don't actually regrow them. So imagine if there was like a hole in the foam core. That's bad. It limits your lung capacity so that you can't breathe in as much oxygen, and so your heart has to work harder, and you have to breathe more. So it's really bad for you. It also puts tar into your lungs. Tar isn't good for your lungs. It's a chemical that gets passed throughout your body that mainly tends to stick in your lungs. It's estimated that a person who smokes a pack a day for 20 years puts 8 ounces of tar in their lungs a year. That's how much. That's a cup of coffee you guys drink in the morning, when somebody drinks in the morning. Here's a visual aid of lungs. This is a non-smoker's lung, and this is a smoker's lung.
Yeah.
Pretty obvious that you would want these lungs and not these lungs. Okay. Secondly, we're going to talk about how smoking affects cancer rates and how smoking can make you more susceptible to cancer. 78% of people who get lung cancer are smokers. That means for 3 out of 4 people who get lung cancer smoke cigarettes. That's a huge number. It also makes you more susceptible to other types of cancer, like throat cancer or esophagus cancer. It can actually give you pancreas cancer because all those toxins you're putting into your body get pumped around and your body can't break them down. I mean, it can pass some of them, but because they're so toxic, they're going to hurt your organs. So it's not good. This is a visual aid on the percentage of cancers that you can get. As you can see, lung cancer is the biggest one at 78. But you can also get pancreas cancer, esophagus cancer, mouth cancer is a really common one with smoking cigarettes. So you get that it makes you, there's lots of different types of cancers that you can get from smoking. Here's some statistics on smoking. There are 43 known cancer-causing chemicals in cigarettes. It actually accounts for 30% of all cancer-related deaths. That means 3 out of every 10 people that die from cancer are smokers. It's a lot of deaths that could be prevented. Lastly, I'm going to talk about secondhand smoke and what the effects of secondhand smoke are. The main people that secondhand, or one of the main groups of people that secondhand smoke affects the most is children, because they're still growing, their bodies are still growing, that when they get these chemicals into their body, it actually prevents their organs from growing, from getting bigger, from staying healthy. So it's really important to keep your children away from people who do smoke. There was actually a study that came out recently about pregnant women saying that secondhand smoke is actually just as bad as if the mother herself was smoking. It's actually been shown to cause the same genetic abnormalities as if the mother was smoking, and the same thing with secondhand smoke. So it's really important if you're pregnant, if you know somebody who's pregnant, if you know somebody who's trying to get pregnant, keep them away from smokers because it can really do a lot of damage. Here are some statistics about secondhand smoke. You have 45 million U.S. adults that smoke cigarettes. You have 126 million people that are susceptible to secondhand smoke. That means for every 1 smoker, you have 3 people that are affected by their smoke. You also have 22 million children between the ages of 3 and 11 that are exposed to secondhand smoke. So that means for every 2 adults, you have 1 child who's susceptible to that smoke. It's really important to keep them away from it. Here's some statistics about secondhand smoke. It causes between 150,000 and 300,000 cases of lower respiratory infections in children every year. It has the same amount, 150,000 to 300,000 lung infections such as pneumonia, bronchitis, in children younger than 18 months. So that's a year and a half under. It's estimated that it causes between 7,500 and 15,000 hospitalizations annually of children. That's a lot of medical bills that could really easily be prevented. So today I've told you about what smoking does to your lungs, how it makes you more susceptible to different kinds of cancers, and what the effects of secondhand smoke are. So I hope you guys all understand the extreme dangers of smoking, how it affects your health, how it affects the health of others around you. I hope that, if you walk by somebody who's smoking, you think about it a little differently. If somebody offers you a drag of their cigarette, that you say no. Or if you're a smoker now, that you decide to change your mind. So in conclusion, I hope that we all make better choices, and if we're given the chance to smoke, we say no.